Hello, and welcome to the Remind podcast, the podcast where we get inside the real estate entrepreneur's mind. My name is Harrison Smith. I'm the Director of Growth with the Matei Group of Keller Williams Realty here in Maine and expanding throughout New England. And I'm joined today by Mark Boutin. How you doing, Mark?
I'm good. How are you, Harrison?
Great. So glad to have you on the show, Mark.
Yeah, it's
looking
great
forward
to be
to talking.
Here. Yeah, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So for those people that might not know who you are, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Mark Boutin. I live in the Portland, Maine area, Cape Elizabeth more specifically. And I've been in corporate finance for the past 18 plus years, holding CFO, Director of Finance type roles in small to medium sized businesses, including a private equity firm that focused on acquiring small businesses. And 2.5 years ago, I decided to get into real estate. So fast forward to today, my portfolio I'm actively and passively invested in 136 units across 4 major US markets. It's been a fun road. It's been an educational road, lots of ups and downs, but all that past experience led to what I'm doing now is WhitesPoint. And WhitesPoint is a real estate investment firm focused on acquiring value-add assets and allowing other people to invest passively in real estate and take advantage of all the benefits that real estate has to offer.
Awesome. So you started investing in real estate, you founded WhitesPoint. So how did you get started and how did you end up where you are today?
Yeah, so 2.5 years ago, I was away on vacation with my family, staying at my parents' camp on Sebago Lake. And at the time, I was working for a corporate company, and I kept having requests to kind of go do stuff. And I kept telling my family, "Hey, look, I'll be right back. Let me just take care of this. I'll be right back." A day or so goes by, and my wife looked at me and said, "Mark, you're not on vacation." And it wasn't a mean, like vindictive type comment. It was just like a loving comment, like, "Hey, we're here, we're with the kids, we're with our family. We should be focusing on that." And that comment really, really hit hard, and I took it to heart. So from that day, I shut down. I said, "That's right. Like, family is why I'm here. That's the most important thing." So I really took a step back and said, why am I working so hard in corporate America? What do I want to do for myself and, more importantly, for my family? And I had always had a love for real estate. So I started going down that path again, looking into real estate, starting reading books, listening to podcasts. And I made the decision that day or that week to get into real estate and start investing in real estate. And that was in July 2019. In January 2020, I bought my first investment property. And that was the beginning of it.
So where was that first investment property? Was it something local?
No. The first one, and to this day, I've never invested in my backyard, which some people say is crazy. First investment property was in Detroit, Michigan, single family house. I bought it off market, cash sale, bought it, rehabbed it, got some tenants in there, rented it out, then refinanced it and recycled the money and started looking for the next one. So it was a bit of a crazy start because it's, thousands of miles away. So, but the numbers didn't work here in Maine. So I had to look elsewhere, and I was determined to make the investment plan happen. So I found a way to do it.
So I'm assuming you didn't go to Detroit to do that. So did you have to build a team that could actually support your ability to be investing out of state?
I did. When I made the decision on vacation to start investing, I started networking like crazy, calling people, joining meetups, just really, getting to know people in the real estate investment space. And I found a contact out there and got talking with them and kept talking, looking at deals. And then they sent me a deal. And that's when I pulled the trigger and decided let's make this thing happen.
Awesome. So you bought one in Detroit. Where'd you go after that?
From there, it kind of just started to, I kept going. I bought another one in Detroit. I did a duplex. And then I branched out into some other markets. I went over to Illinois and I bought some properties there. So it was really everyone says, after the first deal, you really start to get momentum, and it really, that's how it happened. I did one deal a quarter my first year. I
Wow.
ended my first year with seven units total. And yeah, it was just kind of figuring out as I went, and not giving up on the bigger goal, the bigger vision.
Gotcha. So you went from a single family to a duplex. Um, and then most recently you bought a much larger property. What was that like?
Right. Yeah. So that was the first year. From there, the whole goal of getting into real estate, like I said, when I was away on vacation with my family, was to scale a portfolio so that I could do real estate on a full-time basis. So after my first year, I said, I've had some great experience buying these smaller properties, but now I really need to take it to the next level and start scaling up, to make the portfolio grow faster, and be able to meet my goal of doing it on a full-time basis. So coming into 2021, in mid-year July, I bought a 9-unit in Illinois. And then just recently, about a month ago, we closed on a 32-unit in Georgia, right outside of Atlanta.
Gotcha. And so when you say that was a WhitesPoint project.
Correct. Yeah. So the whole goal, like I said, of WhitesPoint is to allow and help other people invest passively in real estate. So we put a team together through WhitesPoint, and brought all the capital together, found the deal, and then ended up closing that 32 unit down in Georgia. And it was the same type of thing. We networked. One of the partners on our team, helped us find the deal. And we ran the numbers. It was a great deal, and then we pulled it all together, and got it across the finish line, and we're pretty excited. It's up and running. And quick side story, we're doing a lot of improvements. It's a value add. I just heard the other day, as a result of all the work that we're doing on the property, just 4 weeks in, the mayor stopped by the property and made comments that it was looking great, and he was very pleased with the progress of the property, from the previous owner to us now owning it, making the improvements. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome for the community to actually take note of what you're doing, and the impact it has.
Yeah, that's always been, when I got into real estate and started to invest, that was one of my, I guess my core values, is to have a positive impact on the community. I want to buy properties that have the value add, whether it's, a light value add or a heavy value add, and, make the properties better, and provide quality housing for people. I mean, everybody needs a home. And I would never want to provide a home that people aren't proud to live in. So when we buy properties, we make sure that they're quality, and that people are proud to, pull in the driveway, and open the door at the end of the day, and feel like they're home. So that's what we're trying to do with this property. It was pretty beat up, and it needed some improvements. So we're making that happen. And I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's an amazing story. So you're in the spot a lot of people are in, where they're working for somebody else. They're at their beck and call, sometimes sneaking away on vacation to get things done. And you had that moment of, I've got to do something different. Now, you could have gone and done anything different. You could have done an e-commerce shop. You could have done all kinds of things, but you chose real estate. So
Mhm.
what drew you to real estate? No, number one, and then more specifically, number two, what drove you to found WhitesPoint?
Yeah. I'll answer them in reverse order. I'll
Okay.
go number two and number one. So, I'll fast forward to now. As a result of, having that moment where I was faced with, I'm prioritizing somebody else's dream over mine, that hit home. And I knew at that point, when I was on vacation, I was actually the road, and this is the reason for the name WhitesPoint. My parents' camp is on a road called WhitesPoint on Sebago. And I knew that someday I would use that name, WhitesPoint, for something that was going to be, bigger and better for everybody involved. So, the why behind it, real estate, there's so many, benefits to real estate. You buy a property, and first you can have an impact on a community. But beyond that, you have the rental income. you have appreciation. You can take advantage of leverage, especially now in this low interest rate um, space that we're in. There's tax advantages, and all of the benefits of real estate really add up to building long-term wealth. It's not a get rich fast, but it's a get rich for sure strategy. If you think of all of the millionaires, I think, probably a ton of people have seen, 90% of
Yep.
millionaires have, made their wealth through real estate. So it's a proven investment strategy. And there's so many benefits that are amazing about it.
Yeah, for sure. What drove you to bigger deals? Why not just continue to invest the way you were doing, that was working, and staying small?
Yeah, great question. So two reasons. One, the goal of my journey into real estate was to do this on a full-time basis. I realized that, acquiring, single families and duplexes, the runway to achieve that full time was a pretty long runway. You can do it, but while you're doing it, you have every time you buy a house, you have another roof to take care of. You have another heating system. You have another plumbing system. You have a separate property manager. When you look at bigger properties, there's economies of scale. You buy a 32 unit, there's one roof, one heating system, one plumbing system, one property manager to manage all 32 units. There's just economies of scale. And if you start stacking those larger units, you can take advantage of those economies of scale for the numbers, as well as, getting to the place where you're providing more income to, the company, as well as, real estate really is a team sport, and I love working with other people. So by doing, I'm always working with people, but by doing larger deals, I can work with more people, and I can help other people invest in real estate, because there's a lot of people that see real estate, they love real estate, but they may not have the time or the know-how or the availability to invest in real estate. And that's really the whole point and the whole goal of WhitesPoint, is to allow and to make investing in real estate easier. Here at WhitesPoint, we do all the work so that people don't have to. We network like crazy. I'm on meetups all the time. Mike's on meetup, my partner, on meetups all the time, to help find us, other operators that are in the space that we could team up with.
So when you look back, what's been the most important thing to your success, whether it's a habit, a trait, a mindset, a mentor? What do you look back on as the major factor to your success?
Yeah, there's really three major factors that I'd say. There's the mindset and belief that you can do it. There's the greater vision, the goal of where you're going, and it's daily consistent action. So, when you get into this, you really have to have the mindset of like, I can do this. I'm going to do this, because there's a lot of challenges, and if you're not confident and you don't take the proper steps to educate yourself and network and put yourself in the right locations and put yourselves in front of the opportunity, you'll miss it. So like having that, really believing it in your core that like, I can do this, like I'm going to do this, all while having a vision of what you want to accomplish. So I knew that day, that week when I was on vacation, what I wanted to accomplish, where I wanted to go. I'm a big believer in like vision boards. So I actually wrote down on a big like easel pad of paper, and I hung it in my closet. So every day when I walk in, I see my goals of what I'm trying to accomplish. And then lastly, daily consistent action, literally every day, taking action that's going to move you closer and closer to achieving your goal, whether it's underwriting a deal, whether it's networking with somebody, whether it's reading a book or listening to a podcast, just taking those steps to put yourself in a good position to be successful when an opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, I love that. I love the idea of hanging your goals where you can see. We talked to a lot of people that mention goals and goal setting, and a lot of people do it, but not everybody follow it through like you did to keep it front and center all the time. So you remember when you have a tough day, what you're working for and why you're doing it.
Yeah, it's a great reminder, because one thing about this business or any business that anybody starts, there's challenges.
Mhm.
I find it hits home. I always used to see the cliche, pictures of an entrepreneur's life where it's like up and down, up and down.
Mhm.
Um, I see those pictures now, and depending on the day, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm right there, or I'm right there. Every day is a new day. Some
Yep.
days you're on top of the world. Some day you think you're free falling. Um, but the overall trend is you're always up. So if you're able to walk into your closet or go somewhere where you always see your goals, if you're having a bad day, you're like, okay, it's a bad day, but tomorrow's a new day, and these are the goals I'm working towards. So it is definitely a good reminder.
Yeah, that's great. So along those same lines, what would you say has been the most difficult lesson you've learned along the way?
Yeah. It's like I said, the real estate is a team sport. I would say that the most difficult lesson is, not everybody is going to have your best interest in mind. You're going
Mm.
to meet a lot of people. They're going to promise you a lot of things, and they don't always deliver on that. So you really have to make sure that you're networking and aligning and getting building those strong relationships before you enter into a deal. Because at the end of the day, especially when we're investing out of state, it's not as easy to just, drive 20 minutes down the road and like take things over yourself. So if you put somebody in charge of a project that's thousands of miles away, you want to make sure that they have the capabilities, the resources, the know-how, of how to make that actually happen. And there's been a couple of instances where, I was promised some things and it didn't come to fruition. And it's frustrating. And did I want to jump on a plane? Sure. But we were unfortunately in the middle of COVID, so it wasn't that easy.
Yeah,
It ended
it's a
up
challenge.
being, yeah, it was challenging. It ended up being fine. But at the end of the day, it really taught me about the importance of relationships and really doing the due diligence and making sure that the person is who they say they are and going to do what say they're going to do.
Yeah, that's really, really great feedback. I talk to a lot of people in the real estate space, whether they're agents or investors, and the one thing I've learned, to echo what you're saying, is the fact that building a team is easy. Building the right team is really hard.
Yeah.
I can go find a bunch of people that are willing to go do certain things sometimes, but can you find the people that are willing to do the right things at the right times? And that is a challenge, especially when
Yeah.
you're not nearby.
Yeah. It definitely is a challenge, but it has, I've learned my lessons, and now, with White's Point, one of our, selling points and what makes us valuable is, we vet the people that we're working with, as strongly, if not more strongly, than the deals that we're looking at.
Mm.
So that's like actually the first part of the process, is to say, okay, who are these operators? Who's bringing us the deal? Who's the property managers? Who's the team that's going to make this asset be a good investment? We look at that before we even look at the deal, because a deal's, in my mind, a lot easier to analyze. It's numbers in a spreadsheet. You can make those happen. You know, you can you can verify the numbers in the spreadsheet, call property managers, but our primary focus, initial focus, is vetting the team that's going to be making it happen.
Yeah, that is so true, and really great feedback. So when you look back on your journey and you see where you are now, what is the one piece of advice you wish you had gotten way back at the beginning?
Yeah. I thought a lot about this one, and the one thing that I've been saying a lot lately, and this may change over the years, but I wish someone would have told me that it's simple, but it's not easy.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is, there's a lot of very simple things that need to be done. It's not rocket science, what we're doing, but it's not easy. It's hard. getting across, the deal, the 32 unit that we closed on, we had some real bumps in the road leading up to closing. And it was very, very simple things. And without the, if we didn't keep in mind like the bigger goal, the vision, what we wanted to do, why we wanted to do it, after that, a lot of people would have been like, man, this is hard. I'm not doing it. But it was really just about like, taking action on the simple things, making a phone call, connecting people, sending along documents, literally stuff that is very, very simple, but it's not easy to like pull all those things together and actually make it happen. It's like herding cats sometimes. It's just not easy.
No, it's right. The actions are simple, and straightforward. And sometimes they even take like 5 minutes, but it's not always easy to have them happen consistently on time in the right sequence. There's a lot to it.
Exactly. Yeah. So
that's great.
That's the biggest thing.
All right. So what can people do to get in touch with you? How's the best way to get in touch with you to learn more about you, more about WhitesPoint, maybe understand some future investment opportunities?
Yeah. So we have a website. Go to whitespoint.com. And be sure when you're on there, scroll down to the bottom and sign up for our monthly newsletter. That way you'll stay up to date on all the most recent happenings, the deals. We host webinars on a regular basis. So be sure to sign up for that. Just put in your name, email address, and you'll get that on a monthly basis. Feel free to reach out to me via email. Email is mark@whitespoint.com. We're also on Instagram. Check out our Instagram. It's WhitesPoint, Whites_point. And then I'm also on LinkedIn. Look me up. I'm on there and we can connect. I'd love to chat and learn about your investing goals and how WhitesPoint can help.
That's great. When you do have investment opportunities, do they go out via newsletter? How are those communicated out so people can take a look?
Yeah, we will send them out via newsletter, but we like to maintain close personal relationships. So, I have everybody's phone number in my phone. So I'm very much of the mindset, like I'm going to call, hey, Harrison, like I have this going on, or hey, let's meet for a coffee. I'd love to bring you up to speed. We will throw it in the newsletter, but we're very personable. So always willing to talk over the phone, meet up for coffee, whatever is convenient for you.
The relationships are so important in this business in all facets of it.
Yeah, totally agree.
Awesome. Well, I thank you so much for your time, Mark. It was a great conversation today, and would love to have you back in the future to talk more about WhitesPoint, maybe talk about some more of the deals you guys are doing as you continue to move forward.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Harrison. I love talking about real estate. And look forward to staying in touch.